Hi, I'm Dr. Neenu Garg. In this session, I will discuss an example of round-robin scheduling algorithm. Let's start. As you can see on the screen, there are three processes that have been shown, P1, P2 and P3. These three processes are in ready state and are linked as P1, then P2, then P3. Time quantum of round-robin scheduling in this case is 4 milliseconds. So no process will get CPU more than 4 milliseconds in a row. Let's start this by plotting Gantt chart. At time 0, scheduler will schedule process P1 and it will be interrupted at time 4. So its remaining burst time is 20. Now P1 will be attached at the end of the ready queue. Now P2 will be scheduled by the scheduler. This process P2 will finish its execution at time unit 3. So there was no need for the timer to interrupt it. It finishes its execution before the time quantum expires. So P2 is done. Now ready queue is P3 then P1. Scheduler will now select P3 and P3 will execute till time unit 10. So both P2 and P3 are done, and in ready queue there is just one process, P1. So P1 will finish its burst of 20 units and it will execute till time unit 30. All the processes arrived in the system at time unit 0. Since no more processes arrive in the system, so P1 continued to execute till time unit 30. It was not interrupted after every 4 milliseconds. If there would have been other processes, then the process would have been interrupted after every 4 time units. Now let's first find out the completion time. All these times are in milliseconds. Completion time of process P1 is 30. Completion time is point in time. Of process P2 it is 7. Of process P3 it's 10. Now turnaround time. Turnaround time is the difference of completion time and arrival time. It is a time for which a process remains in the system. Since arrival time of all processes is 0, so turnaround time is equal to completion time. We'll copy the completion time in turnaround time. Now let's see waiting time. Waiting time is turnaround time minus CPU burst time. For process P1, turnaround time is 30 and CPU burst time was 24. So waiting time is 6. For process P2, turnaround time is 7 and CPU burst time is 3. So waiting time is 4. For process P3, turnaround time is 10 and CPU burst time is 3. So waiting time is 7. Let's find average waiting time. It is 6 plus 4 plus 7 divided by 3, which is the number of processes. So it comes out to be 17 by 3, and which is approximately 5.6 milliseconds. You can also find out average turnaround time by just adding the turnaround times of each process and dividing by 10, which is 47 by 3. So you can just find it out on your own. So this is how round robin scheduling works. Important point to note is that the very first process that is scheduled, once its time quantum is over, it is attached at the tail of the ready queue. So every process gets the CPU for the which is equivalent to the size of its time quantum. So this was all about round robin scheduling algorithm. Hope you understand the session. Thank you.